Good morning, students. Thank you for that terrific introduction. Thank you, everyone, for inviting me here today. Delegates of the first Hoffmun UN 2023 Model United Nations Conference, students and faculty of Hoffmanova High School, thank you for inviting me to address this group. I try to convey how incredible it must be and should be to be a young person in Poland in 2023. You are in one of the most interesting places on earth. So much is happening here relevant to the rest of the world. And you live at a time when you can more easily share it and communicate it far and wide through technology platforms that exist today, rather than when I first came to Poland 32 years ago, just after the collapse of communism. I was here on a Fulbright scholarship, byłem tu na stypendium Fulbrighta, mieszkałem na ulicy Tamka, zapisałem książkę na przekształcenie konstytucjonalizmu w Polsce i to był ciekawy czas w Polsce. But I couldn't communicate it because the connections, obviously 32 years ago, are far, far from what they are today. You have this remarkable opportunity to be part of something bigger than yourself, something great, something that is catalytic for the future of your country, and you can connect it and share it and tell it in a way that no one could do before. And I hope that you do that with Americans. I hope that you come to America and tell the story of Poland and learn also from us. See what we do right, see what we do wrong. Go to our universities, and we have so many universities across 50 states. It takes 6 hours to fly across the United States. All in between that are tons of universities and colleges. And it is such an opportunity for you guys to see another part of the world. You know, the great British Prime Minister, Benjamin Disraeli, once said, "Travel teaches tolerance. Travel teaches tolerance." What a great, great saying for you guys. Use the opportunity to travel, to go around the world, to learn about the world, and to share it with your fellow countrymen here in Poland, and to do something important. This Model UN Conference and topics you chose to debate, how to build the world of tomorrow through diplomacy and communication couldn't be more timely. What is happening in Central Europe today is remarkable, and there are crucial lessons we can learn from the rapid mobilization and solidarity that we see here. And when I say rapid mobilization or reactive mobilization, folks, this is what I mean. Different countries have different balance sheets. Every country can have a balance sheet of assets and liabilities. One thing that we have seen in Poland in 2022 and 2023 is the reactive mobilization of the people to help the crisis in Ukraine, to help Ukrainian refugees, to do something that helps this wave of people coming across the border. That's been terribly impressive to the West. Poland has acted like a humanitarian superpower, and for me as an American, when I think of our moments of reactive mobilization, I think of after the attack on Pearl Harbor during World War II, when America had to build an military-industrial complex to fight battles across the Pacific and across the Atlantic. I think of when President John F. Kennedy in the 1960s said America must win the race to the moon, and that unleashed a nationwide technological revolution. That's kind of what's happened in Poland in 2022 and 2023. You guys have been part of it. That is part of your narrative, part of your story. It's tremendously impressive that Poland has led with heart and empathy in welcoming millions of its neighbors. The international community has stepped forward in response to Russia's brutal assault on the people of Ukraine as well. And United Nations agencies continue to provide critical, ongoing support for refugees in this war. Think of the UN High Commissioner of Refugees, UNHCR, with professional staff working diligently across the region, coordinating with governments and civil society to provide refugee protection, shelter, and support. Think of the UNICEF Education Hub in Warsaw, where art therapy is used to help the youngest and most innocent victims of Russia's attacks in Ukraine. Earlier this year, on the one-year anniversary of Russia's renewed invasion, President Biden visited Kiev and Warsaw to reaffirm the United States' continued support for Ukraine and our partnership with Poland. President Biden shared in Warsaw in February a message that I want to echo today. In his February speech at the Royal Castle in Warsaw, he called this very moment an inflection point, because the decisions we make in the next few years will guide us into the future. We have a choice as a community of nations between hope and fear, between chaos and stability, between building and destroying, between helping and giving up. In my time as U.S. Ambassador in Poland, I have been so inspired by the young people in Poland who have been catalysts for change. The support you have given to the people of Ukraine is making such a difference. Whether you organize a clothing drive, welcomed a new friend to class, or shared your home with complete strangers, all of that matters, and your actions have communicated your values. As I said before, it draws similarities to times like that in my country, but also it draws similarities to what happened in Poland in history during World War II, the Warsaw Uprising, and during the Solidarity movement. In the United States today, young people lead the way in movements for greater protection of civil rights, striving for gender equality, and addressing climate change. I see the same here in Poland. You guys are giving us a sense of optimism and a sense of direction. You give us hope for the future. That future, your future, is bright. I'm tremendously optimistic about the future of Poland. But we have to build it together in the right way. And I know that you guys are already thinking about those kinds of things. In the 20 months that I've been here as ambassador, I really feel that America and Poland have become much more closely aligned. Even though we have governments that are different. The Biden administration is ideologically center-left. The Duda administration is ideologically center-right. That happens. We still have a tremendous number of shared interests that we are working on together. You guys place high value in inclusion and diversity, gender equality, and combating climate change. When we focus on these values, everyone benefits. They have to be part of what comes next. To build a culture of peace through diplomacy and communications requires inclusion. And I feel that the young generation in Poland really, really gets that. There is, I feel, a special sensitivity on the part of young people in Poland on the importance of diversity, of inclusion. There's an interest in the rest of the world and a sense of kind of what it means to be a global citizen, like one has never really seen in Poland before. It's a really important identity of the young people here, and it is the way you will change this country and change its relations with other countries around the world, including my country, the United States. To build a culture of peace through diplomacy and communications requires inclusion. It requires a focus not on what divides us, but on those things that bind us together as neighbors, citizens, and residents of a world in which the greatest challenges facing us do not respect national borders. This conference will consider this and debate some of the most urgent challenges facing our world today. As a diplomat, I can tell you there are no easy answers, but the imperative to get this right is stronger than ever. Where we are headed, that depends on you guys. You guys are going to be taking the reins very, very soon. The world is counting on your ideas, your passion, and your commitment, and I can't wait to see what you guys do in the next few years, that you will take this country to places it has never gone before. With that, I say, Powodzenia, good luck. Thank you for having me here today.